North Korea's hidden economy is so powerful, but why? North Korea, a land of mystery, a nation so tightly controlled, it is often depicted as an impenetrable fortress. To the world, it's isolated, its people under strict control, and its economy crippled by some of the harshest sanctions in history. But what if I told you there is more to North Korea than meets the eye? Beneath the surface, beyond the tightly controlled markets and state run enterprises, there exists a thriving underground economy. What fuels this hidden economy? How does it continue to survive in one of the most heavily controlled countries in the world? Let's look at the forces behind this powerful yet secretive system. North Korea is often seen as a nation stuck in economic stagnation. But if you look closely, you will find that behind closed doors and in the shadows of official policy, there is a network of trade, informal exchanges, and resilience keeping the country afloat. A hidden economy that, despite everything, thrives. Let's first begin by understanding the official economic structure in North Korea. The Workers' Party of Korea is at the heart of the country's economy. On paper, it's a commie state with all major industries controlled by the government. Agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and everything in the country is centrally planned and tightly controlled, or so it seems. In theory, the government provides its people with everything they need: food, education, healthcare, and everything else, and even employment. There's a catch. With international sanctions crippling the country's ability to import goods and inefficiency running rampant in state run systems, it is no wonder that many North Koreans have had to seek alternatives. The reality is, for many North Koreans, the government's promises fall short. People have to get creative if they want to survive. So, how do they do it in a place so tightly controlled? In the early 1990s, everything changed. The collapse of the Soviet Union left North Korea isolated, cutting off vital supply lines. At the same time, the country was struck by one of the deadliest famines in its history. Over 1 million people perished. It was during this crisis that North Korea's hidden economy began to take root. With the government unable to provide, the North Korean people had no choice but to find alternative ways to feed themselves, trade goods, and even barter for services. This is where it all began. Slowly at first, but soon the informal trade networks began to flourish. This brings us to the Jangmadang. These street markets became the lifeblood of North Korea's underground economy. What started as small informal gatherings of people selling goods evolved into a massive network. The Jangmadang became places of survival. They offered what the government could not: food, electronics, even luxury goods, and they flourished despite the regime's strict control. As the state run economy continued to falter, these markets expanded, offering everything from local products to foreign luxury items smuggled in from China. North Koreans began to see that there was no alternative. But what made these markets so vital to survival? The answer lies in human nature. In a place where the state controls almost everything, people still find ways to survive. The Jangmadang became more than a necessity. They became the foundation of the North Korean economy. Despite the government's best efforts to stamp them out, foreign goods continued to flood into these markets. The hidden economy was not just about basic survival, it became a space for people to access items from outside the world. Items you would not expect to find in a place like North Korea: Western clothing, electronics, and even bootleg DVDs. These goods came from across the border, smuggled in through complex networks that operate well under radar of the state authorities. But it wasn't just about goods coming in. North Korea also found ways to export goods. At the heart of this hidden economy are the smuggling networks that bypass the international sanctions. China, Russia, and even South Korea play crucial roles in this underground system. Goods are smuggled in and out, often in the dead of night and hidden in plain sight. But it's not just about what comes in. North Korea also exports rare minerals, counterfeit products. The elite in North Korea, the high ranking party officials, military commanders, and others in power, have access to these networks. They play a major role in sustaining the hidden economy, often using their connections to access luxury goods, foreign technology, and even restricted information. These elites are not just consumers, they're active participants, and they hold a tremendous amount of power, not only because of their political positions, but because their control over the flow of goods in and out of the country. Of course, the government tries to control it. They regularly crack down on these illegal markets, seizing goods they deem unapproved and shutting down the whole market when they get out of hand. But here's the thing, the hidden economy keeps going, even in the face of these government efforts. Why? Because these markets are essential. The government may try to control everything, but at the end of the day, they have to deal with the reality on the ground. The hidden economy is not just about something people use, it is something they depend on to survive. So, where does this leave North Korea? Can the hidden economy continue to survive, or will the government eventually crush it under the weight of its control? And what role will the global community play in all of this? The truth is, the hidden economy has become one of North Korea's greatest assets. It is how the country stays connected to the outside world and how millions survive in the face of crippling sanctions and government oppression. As North Korea's hidden economy continues to thrive in the shadows, we can't help but wonder what happens when the world's most secretive economy finally reveals itself. One thing is for sure, change is coming. The question is, will the government be able to control it? Or will the people's resilience outlast even the most oppressive regime? What we've seen today is just the tip of the iceberg in the hidden economy of North Korea, a system that has grown in the shadows, fueled by resilience and creativity, and the refusal to give in to oppression. It's a force to be reckoned with. As long as the people of North Korea continue to find ways to survive, their economy will remain a mystery, a powerful hidden force that the world cannot ignore.